Hey guys, we're here to talk about leadership and management today. I'm Brent. I'm president, managing partner at Applewood Auto Group. That's my email address and my Instagram, which I'm not on too much, but you can add me. It doesn't matter. All right, here's what I want to know. Do you consider yourself a good leader, manager, or both? And that's the first thing to answer on your Slido is, are you a good leader, a manager, or both? I'll tell you, my answer is I consider myself a good leader and not a great manager at all. And unfortunately, that's okay in my role. It's unfortunate for you because you have to start getting good at both, right? Because you've been charged to lead and manage a whole bunch of people, right? I've been charged to lead a whole bunch of people, and then I have people do the management stuff that I suck at, okay? So just go buy your own auto group, and you can do it how you want it, right? Right? So good. We got a lot of answers in here. What is the difference between a leader and a manager? That's the next answer. So some people put, working on the business or in, health. I don't know what that means, but that's okay. What is the difference between a leader and a manager? Someone is a fan of Snoop Dogg because they put a leader leads and a manager manages. Okay? The best line in rap is by Snoop Dogg, and it's followed up by the worst line in rap by Dr. Dre. Best line in rap is, it's the capital yes-o, yes-o, fresh-o, double-o-p, D-o-double-G-o, D-o-double-G. You see? Great line, right? That's Snoop Dogg. Then Dr. Dre comes in and says, never let me slip, because if I slip, then I'm slipping. Like, you can literally say that about anything. Never let me sleep, because if I sleep, then I'm sleeping, right? Like, a leader leads and a manager manages. I love it. A leader takes the team along with the manager manages. A leader helps their employees, leads by example, sets expectations versus managing expectations. Those are good. There's goals, inspiring. Maybe the leader inspires. Maybe the leader's about vision. There's implementation. So a lot of things. We have a lot of answers. And today, we're going to define the difference, okay? And then we're going to learn the 5 leadership practices and the 5 management practices. Fair? Okay? So we're going to learn all of these things. And then this is the last question for a little bit, I think, is what struggles are you having leading and managing your team? What struggles are you having? 3 common ones that start to come through, and these are the 3 that are in every session I've done is the top ones, is accountability. How do I hold people accountable, right? How do I communicate effectively with these people? And I find, like, as a leader, as a manager in the stores, that my time, I can go through a whole day, go home and go, I was busy all day and accomplished nothing. Have you ever had that feeling? Brutal feeling, yeah? Like, you were busy doing the things, but then went home like, what did I really do today? What did we accomplish, right? So we'll talk about all 3 of these things, and we'll make it really, 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 really simple. But a leader and a manager, if we just sum it up in one word, they're a boss, right? So a leader and manager is a boss. Both of those pictures created by AI, by the way. They're a boss. And so what is a boss? The definition is a person in charge of a worker, group, or organization, if that's a noun, right? As a verb, also known as a chief, principal, director, president, executive, chief executive, chairperson, chairwoman, chairman, manager, leader, supervisor, foreman, owner, boss, man, boss, woman, number 1, kingpin, top dog, big wig, big cheese, big Mr. Big, skipper, gaffer, governor, like, hello, governor, right? Head honcho, numero uno, big kahuna, and the high muck. That is a boss, right? A leader and a manager is a boss. That's what you guys are, right? As a verb, it's to give someone order in a demeaning manner. That's supposed to say manner. Domineering. Or demeaning probably too, right? Right? It's funny is watching little kids play football, you can see that there is some bossy kids, right? And then there's definitely bossy managers. Or as an adjective, it's excellent, outstanding, like that was a real boss move on their part. So you guys are bosses, right? And which one do you want to be known as, right? Someone who, gives orders in a domineering fashion, right? Or some of the good things, those are excellent moves, way to help out. So here's the truths about being a boss. There's 4 of them. There's 4 great truths. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be hard. I think sometimes we make things hard. We are like, I don't know how to hold people accountable, or I got to hold this person accountable, right? Or, we don't even understand, we got to work on the business or in the business, right? What does that mean? It can be very easy. If you follow the 5 management practices, the 5 leadership practices, being a great boss is very, 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 very simple. It's easy. If it wasn't, I couldn't do it. Okay? Next, your style doesn't have to change. You think about professional sports. Is there a different style of coaching that you see? Yes or no? Right? And on the, you got the John Tortorellas of the world. If anybody knows hockey, he's the one that screams at his players, right? And for about a season and a half, he gets good results until they realize, oh, he's just a screamer. He's like a dog that doesn't stop barking but never bites, right? After a while, you're not scared of him, right? Then there's the cool, calm, collected leader. Then there's that energized manager, right? Like, you don't have to get up on the stage and do this and change your style to be a good boss, right? You could be more of a, extrovert, or you could be more of an introvert. It doesn't matter. You don't have to change, and I recommend that you abso-freaking-lutely do not change. Because part about being a good boss is you have to be genuine, and you must genuinely care about your people. Raise your hand if you've ever had a manager or boss who you don't believe likes you or cares about your success. Was it fun to go work with that person? Right? You want to be a great boss, you actually have to care about your people. If you get to the point where you don't care about the person, probably one of the best things to do is move them to a different place, a different store. We have lots of stores. Because once you stop caring about the person, you're not going to put any effort in, correct? Right? I'm a little sarcastic, right? Some of you have speak 2nd and 3rd languages. I speak English and sarcasm, right? So I'm pretty good at that. And I like to tease, right, Tyler? Yeah. Every now and then, yeah, he knows. But if I don't bug you or tease you, I probably don't like you. That's the facts. Now, some of you I don't know enough to bug or tease, but that's just my style. But if I don't even tease someone, they're not even worth me teasing. I know I'm not going to lead or manage them very well. That's just, right? You have to care. You have to care. Right? You have to care what's best for them and help them reach a level that they've never reached before. You have to help them see a vision that they can't see. Right? Think about those sports coaches. They take over the same team and get way better results, correct? Right? The Canucks didn't change very many players this season, did they? But they have a brand new coach halfway through last, and they got pretty darn far, didn't they? The leader impacts the organization. If you care about your people, they'll feel it, and they'll want to work with you. Yes? You must want to be great. We talked in the pump-up today about learning new things. We've talked in previous pump-ups about building your self-worth. You'll never be worth more than your current self-worth, right? We said, try new things, go outside your comfort zone, do these things. You must actually want to be great, right? If we went to Amazon right now, do you believe that you'd find over 10,000 books on leadership? Yes or no? Right? Would you find over 10,000 books on management? Yes or no? Yeah. Right? There's zero. If we went to YouTube and said, top 5 tips of a manager, a good manager, right? Or holding people accountable, whatever it is. Top 5 tips for time management. Would we find videos? Yes or no? Yes. There's zero excuse not to be great. The only difference is, do you want to be great? Do you actually want it? Do you take the time to do it? See, a lot of people say they want to be great, aren't willing to do the things it takes to be great, right? A lot of people out there, they'll be like, I want to be this person. I want to be this person. They go and they say, hey, how'd you get there? And you tell them how you got there, and they go, well, I don't want to do that. Well, then you're not going to get it. You're not going to get those things. So don't say you're willing to do something. You have to actually want to be great. You have to want to be a great boss. You have to want to learn how to lead and manage people effectively. You have to want to learn how to communicate effectively. We're going to talk a lot about communication today, because would we agree, yes or no, that communication is probably one of the biggest issues we have, right? Setting clear expectations, probably one of the hardest things to do, yes or no? Right? Have you ever said something to someone and then you go back later and be like, but I told them. And you're like shaking your head like, but I told them. Right? You have to want to be great. So the 4 simple truths of being a great boss is, it's simple. Your style doesn't have to change. You got to care about your people, and you must want to be great. So we're going to talk about leader. Leaders are like the lighthouse. Leaders are like the lighthouse. Everybody else lost in the fog. The leader knows the direction, knows the vision, knows where we're going. Okay? Can tell you and say, hey, it's okay, come here, this is where I want to go. The leader is that treasure map holder. They know how to get there. Or they have a really good idea of how to get there, right? And a manager is like a conductor. See, when a conductor of a symphony has to control so many working parts, correct? Say, okay, you do this now, and then you pause, and then you come in, right? They're just directing, telling you what to do, when to do it. But that leader is like, they're the lighthouse. Follow me. You can't be a leader with 0 followers. Write that down. You can't be a leader with 0 followers. If you have no followers, you're just some person wandering around, right? Nobody's following you. You're just a dude going for a walk in the woods. Nobody's following. So a leader's that lighthouse. They're the beacon. They're drawing people into a vision. Okay? So we'll go through the differences. A leader gives clear direction. And a manager, we're going to go through each one of these really, really in depth, sets clear expectation. Okay? A leader provides the necessary tools, and a manager communicates well. A leader delegates and elevates people to new levels, delegates things that are on their working frustration to people who have it as their genius. We're going to talk a lot about that today. A manager has great meetings. This sounds crazy, but if you want to be a good manager, stop having shitty meetings. Okay? They're painful, and nobody wants to go there. A leader acts with the greater good in mind, and a manager gives consistent and frequent feedback. A leader designs strategies and plans, and a manager executes those strategies and plans. Okay? So those are the main differences, and these are the practices, and we're going to go through each one, okay? Boom. A leader does what is right. Write this down for sure. And a manager does the right things. So a leader is out there, they're that beacon, they're doing what's right. People are watching them, they're doing what's right in front of everybody, they're doing what's right whether anybody's looking, right? Integrity was explained to me one time as, integrity is doing what is right even when no one is watching you, right? But a manager does the right things. Right? So they're that conductor doing the right things, telling people when to stop and start and go higher and lower and higher volume and pauses and whatnot. They do the right things. I saw this, I was like, that's a great way to summarize the two. Leader does what's right, and a manager does the right things.